Enter the Light, Overcoming the Darkness by Lance Dixon is a must-read. In the book, the author connects and engages the reader with the main character. James Stevens, a mild-mannered investment manager with a dark past, thought all of his military exploits were behind him. He left his former life as he returned to embracing his childhood faith. Now he has a beautiful wife and daughter, a nice home, and a great job. Yet, he was oblivious to the demonic forces determined to destroy his life and all the good things he had accomplished. How does one react when individuals closest to his or her life are influenced by demonic forces? Now, James finds himself wrongly accused of a crime and pursued by the Savino crime family for $1 million in laundered money. He must choose between returning to his former habits of murder and mayhem or fighting these evil powers with faith in God. Follow the spiritual warrior as he fights natural, demonic, and spiritual battles to protect his family and clear his reputation. Beware. Darkness lurks in the least expected places. Lance Dixon's book is a page-turner. You owe it to yourself to buy it now. Grab your copy of the book Enter the Light, Overcoming the Darkness on Amazon.com, where great books like this one are sold.
Hello everyone, my name is Emmanuel Green, the man in the green shoes, and I'm a SAG-E commercial actor and print ad model. I've worked on commercials for brands like Verizon, Hobby Lobby, and SeatGeek. Now Lance Dixon is my martial arts teacher. More specifically, he's my Sabu Nim, or instructor, for Taekwondo. I wanted to sit down with him and ask a few questions about his new book, Enter the Light. So let's get right into it. So Enter the Light looks like an exciting story. Can you tell us a little bit more about James Stevens?
James Stevens is the main character in the story. The story begins with James in jail and totally at a loss on how he ended up there. I wanted James to be a hardworking guy who was trying to do all the right things, but somehow ended up in trouble that he couldn't explain.
All right. So are there any plans to turn this into a series?
Well, that really depends on how well the audience takes to the End of the Light. And if there's a demand for more. If there's a demand, then obviously I will have to see what I can do to meet that demand.
All right, well, let's hope that that demand is there and we'll get to see this as a series. It's always good to see. So how long did it take you to write Into the Light?
It took me a long time to write Enter the Light because it was a different type of book and a different style of writing for me as an author. I normally write nonfiction books where I can share my experience and knowledge regarding whatever the subject matter of the book may be. This is a fictional story, which is a totally different style of writing.
Got it. Well, that's an amazing cover. So can you tell us a little bit more about it?
The cover is actually a follow-on to my previous book, The Battle is On. The angel and the demonic figure are meant to illustrate the spiritual war that takes place between good and evil.
Interesting. All right. Well, what inspired you when writing Into the Light?
I wanted to share a story about how common, everyday people can be influenced and, in some cases, attacked by demonic forces. The primary purpose of this story is to entertain, but I also wanted to force people to actually think of how they live and what forces could possibly be influencing their thoughts.
Interesting concept. All right. Well, how did you come up with the story in Into the Light?
What makes Enter the Light unique is that it is a follow-up of a previous book I wrote entitled The Battle is On. The Battle is On was written to teach readers about spiritual warfare. Once the book was completed, I had the thought, what if I create a story to illustrate the principles in this book? That was the birth of Enter the Light.
All right. Well, did anything stick out as challenging when writing Into the Light?
The most challenging thing in writing Enter the Light was dialogue, because I normally write nonfiction books. Creating characters and the dialogue between the characters was very challenging.
All right. Well, what do you like to do when you're not writing?
Well, as you know, I've been a martial artist for many a years. But additionally, I am retired from the military after 20 years of service. And I am also retired from all of my other activities as an instructional systems specialist, corporate trainer, curriculum developer, and a training evaluator. So when I'm not writing, I am relaxing and enjoying life and retirement. I still get involved in a variety of projects, but it's usually at my leisure.
All right, enjoying life. That's the best way. All right. And last question for you, Lance. Where can readers find your work?
If you want general information about my writing, you can always go to my Amazon profile. But if you want more detailed information, you can go to my electronic portfolio at eport.online/Lance_Dixon, and that's spelled Dickson.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Lance, for sitting down with me and answering a few of these questions. I hope that this book is a great success for you, and people out there will read it and enjoy it. And any last thoughts?
Well, the only thoughts I have is that I'm hoping that people will enjoy the book, but I want to thank you for taking the time to do the interview.
No problem. All right, guys. It's Lance Dixon for you.